Andrew's ongoing sexual abuse scandal is, understandably, wearing on the royal family. At the moment, lawyers say, Andrew is already seen as guilty in the court of public opinion, of poor judgment at best and sex crimes at worst. While the Queen, Prince Charles, and Prince William worry about the potentially long-term effects this episode will have on the future of the monarchy, even in the US, Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, are also not untouched by the scandal. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's biggest ally in the royal family will now most likely have to shift her attention to supporting Prince Andrew amid his lawsuit. Meghan Markle launched her 40x40 initiative to encourage people to help women re-entering the workforce last week, and Princess Eugenie quickly threw her support behind it despite royal rift rumors. Reports have recently emerged that Princess Eugenie is also lending her support to Harry and his much-anticipated memoir Behind the Scenes, which could have long-term implications on possibly healing the royal rift between the Sussexes and the rest of the royal family. A palace source said recently that Eugenie's support of Harry writing a memoir could be a game-changer because a show of support from within the royal family would most certainly lend more credibility to whatever he chooses to reveal and could possibly result in a change in strategy in how the palace responds. Now, however, in light of the news that her father is the subject of a lawsuit filed by a victim of Jeffrey Epstein, implicating him in the late convicted sex offender's criminal acts, Eugenie may feel it's best to switch her focus support to her father. Even if Eugenie's attentions are diverted from Harry, there will always be a lot of love between the cousins. Despite recent events that will dramatically alter Eugenie's focus, she and Harry will always be close, according to one insider. Harry and Eugenie understand each other in a way other family members cannot, said the source. They have both had to put on brave faces supporting their parents while inside. They grappled emotionally with all that's happened to them as a result. That is why they are so close. Since they were both children, Harry and Eugenie have been swept up in the tabloid coverage of their parents' scandals. Harry has spoken time and time again about the trauma both he and William endured amid their parents' contentious divorce, including their admitted affairs playing out in the media. Eugenie and her sister, Beatrice, have stood by the scandal-plagued marriage between Andrew and their mother, Sarah, Duchess of York, which included her banishment from the royal family after her dalliances with other men. She was also caught on camera taking bribes in exchange for access to Andrew, and now, Eugenie and Beatrice's father is being accused of sexually assaulting an underage girl. If Eugenie is forced to step back from helping to heal the rift between Harry and the rest of the family because of what she now must deal with regarding her father, he will understand. There is a lot of love there. This week, the Queen, Andrew, Fergie and Charles are all on the Balmoral estate where one would guess that a crisis meeting have been going on. That's why he's at Balmoral having crisis talks with the Queen, said Mark Stevens, a specialist in international law with the prominent London firm Howard Kennedy. His actions reflect on the rest of the monarchy and at some point they have to make a decision about what to do. The royal family is understood to be having provisional discussions about a wider reallocation of their military titles. This comes after senior Navy personnel called for the Duke of York to step down from his military roles last week so as not to embarrass the nation. You will be surprised to know that Prince Andrew still holds all of his shiny military roles. He still be deemed worthy of holding titles including being the Colonel of the Grenadier Guards, a Vice Admiral in the Navy, Commodore-in-Chief of the Navy's Fleet Air Arm and Admiral of the Sea Cadet Corps. It is a stain on the Queen's legacy that she has allowed her son to retain this swath of commands for so long while Prince Harry was swiftly stripped of his beloved military roles earlier this year. In quitting royal life last January, Harry and his wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, were forced to pay a steep price for having the temerity to bail on the palace. The Duke has had to relinquish not only his military roles but also being patron of the Rugby Football Union and the Rugby Football League, while the Duchess was made to step down as the patron of the Royal National Theatre and the Association of Commonwealth Universities. They both were also stripped of their roles as, respectively, the President and Vice President of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. In late 2019, The Times reported, Buckingham Palace has made clear that Prince Andrew is keeping his military commands despite the growing disquiet in the ranks. It has only been in the wake of Miss Giuffre's New York court filing this month that the prospect of Andrew losing his honorary military roles has been seriously raised. Prince Harry has made some inadvertent public comments about Andrew's relationship with Epstein and his desire to separate both himself and Meghan from the scandal. The Duke of Sussex was duped by Russian hoaxers into thinking he was speaking on the phone with then 17-year-old environmental activist Greta Thunberg and her father on two separate occasions, once on New Year's Eve 2019 and then again on January 22, 2020. When asked about his uncle's possible legal woes stemming from his relationship with Epstein, Harry told the pranksters, "I have very little to say on that. But whatever he has done or hasn't done is completely separate from me and my wife. We operate in a way of inclusivity and we are focusing on community. And so we are completely separate from the majority of my family." The news that Prince Andrew is the subject of a lawsuit filed by Virginia Roberts Giuffre, accusing the Duke of York of sexual assault and battery, has rocked the House of Windsor. Giuffre, a victim of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking, alleges that the Duke knowingly had sex with her when she was 17 years old. This latest royal scandal has thrown the palace into chaos in what has already been another annus horribilis for Queen Elizabeth, and by extension the rest of the royal family. Ever since Andrew's disastrous 2019 BBC interview in which he attempted to explain away his friendship with Epstein, the palace has tried to keep the Duke of York out of the spotlight. Palace aides have been so intent on keeping Andrew from being associated with the rest of the royal family, he was absent from the official photographs taken at the wedding of his daughter Princess Beatrice and Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi in July of last year. While he did attend, there was no sign of him in the wedding photos that instead featured the Queen and Prince Philip. But keeping Andrew out of sight does not, in any way, minimize the damaging effects his relationship with Epstein and the stunning new lawsuit brought against him could have on the royal family. As far as his public image is concerned, the damage to Andrew's reputation is likely to be irreparable, according to experts, and so far his legal team's strategy has been silence. If Andrew ignores this lawsuit, he'd be risking losing by default and could be ordered by an American court to pay millions in compensatory and punitive damages. If he engages and is forced to give a deposition, he runs the risk of opening himself up to self-incrimination and possible criminal charges. If there is ever a civil trial and he loses, it would be humiliating and expensive if American lawyer David Boies and his client, Giuffre, succeed.
Thank you for watching. If you liked, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates. We will update the latest videos about the royal family every day. Thanks and goodbye.